Hey there, everybody. How's it going? My name is Lane, and welcome back to another episode of Solely Survival. Chances are, if you clicked on this video, then that means you've seen the title, and, well, yeah, that's right. This is the finale of Season 1 of Solely Survival. So I really didn't plan on ending this season this early on. I still had a few more plans that I wanted to get through, but I'm gonna be honest with you, at this point, I've been on this world for so long that I'm not super inspired to be on this world too much. Um, I've also got the Craftwork server going as well, and the Redstone series, and it's just hard to kind of churn out all of these videos and split my time creatively. Yeah, it's a bit draining mentally and creatively, and I feel like I should probably just put all my time into the SMP. Now, I understand that a lot of you, well, most of you really found this channel through this series, and I appreciate you sticking with me. And I understand completely if you want to unsubscribe, but I will go ahead and say now that this series is not over entirely. It's just this season of the series is over. Season 2 will be happening. It'll happen at some point. I don't know when, but it will be happening. It will be back. But that being said, I just need to take a little bit of time to kind of put all of my creative efforts back into, designing and everything else for the SMP, and just all around take a break from this world. This world has grown so much. This is by far the biggest world I have ever built in survival Minecraft. I've been playing this for a long time, and I've never had a world this big. And yeah, so you can also tell that, this is not scripted, and I'm struggling to find the words to say here because I've never done something like this. I've never wrapped up a series before. I've never had to go through this. This is definitely a kind of mix of emotions. So yeah, but that is definitely a necessity at this point, because for me to continue doing this, I can't burn myself out completely, and I absolutely love what I do on here. So yeah, I just feel like it's time to put more of my focus creatively into the SMP, and yeah, I appreciate you guys for understanding that. And like I said, if you want to unsubscribe, I completely understand, though I ask that you don't, because this series again will be back. Now, with all of the all of the depressing news out of the way, let's go on ahead and get more into what we're actually doing today. So there is one thing at least that I want to do before I finish up this series, and that is finish the Axolotl pond right here, and then make a little something going on up here. Now, originally, I did have this massive structure planned to go right in this area, but that will not end up happening because I simply just don't have the time to plan it and to actually design it and get it put up and get all the resources for it and everything. So instead, I kind of have a different idea in mind for that, but we'll cover that later on. And yeah, I actually think this idea will be a little bit more fitting for what's going on right now, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and try to get some of the materials together and get some stuff laid out here to get started on the Axolotl pond, and we'll see what happens with it. Alright, I've gotten the leaves together and stuff for the outer edge of this. So first things first, I need to remove all of the wool and place in the leaves. Now, I actually really do like the shape that I have going here. I think it's pretty cool. So I think I'm just going to kind of replicate this exact thing with the leaves. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with that real quick. Alright, so I've got the leaves put in, and it actually looks quite nice. I literally went around block for block and just replaced the wool with the leaves because, again, I actually quite like the shape that I had before. So now what I'm kind of thinking is all of the blue wool I'm going to swap out for cobblestone and mossy cobble and stuff like that. And then I think down in there we are actually going to dig out a little bit of a pit, and add in the water, and I've got to go and get some axolotls, I'm pretty sure. I know I've got one or two over there. We'll see. But yeah, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and start digging out the pit first, and then making the outline for the rest of this. And yeah, so I think that's where I'm starting. I'm kind of winging this, so I'm not gonna sit here and make you sit through my entire thought process because I have no idea what I'm doing. And well, I have a feeling that I'm going to just record a bunch of clips saying that I'm doing something, and then I end up changing it all together and not end up doing something. So instead, I'm just going to switch to a time lapse. I will see you guys in a bit. Alright, the axolotl pond is now done, and I quite like it. I went a little crazy with the bone meal on the inside of here, and we've only got 3 axolotl for the time being. I probably will go and get some tropical fish to breed them up, so this way we can have a few more of them going, through this area. But, yeah, I do need to get in there and trim out some of the seaweed and stuff like that, because that is a bit much, but that'll be something I worry about later. I also added in all of these big oak trees, which I think really adds to the area. I quite like it. And then I added these spore blossoms down to the bottom of them as well. And that is basically to just kind of add these little particles up here like I did down there. And I apparently did not light up this area down here well enough, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, these spore blossoms are here to just add a little bit of ambiance to the area, and I'm really, really happy with that. And then there's seatings and hidden lightings and all that stuff, and yeah, it's pretty cool. So now the other plan that I have in mind for this area is making this entire area up here into one big field, and then making this path connect all the way on up to about that point up there, where there's going to be a little bit of a statue or something. I don't entirely know. I haven't planned that out, but that is kind of the plan, is to make a bit of a field and just a path winding through it, and I think that would be pretty cool. So I think while I do that, I'm going to answer some questions from you guys, because I think it's about time we do a little bit of a Q&A on the channel. For a little bit now, I've been considering it, and we just recently reached 500 subscribers, so I think that'd be a pretty cool way to kind of celebrate that milestone as well. So I think all in all, it sounds like a pretty cool idea. I want you guys to be able to get to know me a little bit better, and I really like the interaction. I really like being able to, answer just anything that I can for you guys. So yeah, I guess now that that's out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and get started with this, and I'm going to get started with some questions. So question number 1 comes from Zominator, and he asks, how did you come up with the name? So Lucky Lane Zero is a name that I have used pretty much the entire time I've been playing online. It's just kind of a name that is something that's stuck with me since forever. And the actual name Lucky Lane has been a childhood nickname of mine, as my middle name is actually Lane, and that's the name that I go by. And so yeah, Lucky Lane is just something that is kind of stuck with me. The other part of his question is, why aren't your videos available to download on the phone? And well, I actually did not know that was an issue until I seen this comment. Yeah, so it has since been looked into, and I have updated the latest not survival series, the latest Craftworks SMP videos and Redstone 101 videos to actually be downloadable, and I'm gonna try to make every video going forward downloadable as well for those of you who would want to watch it offline. Question number 2 comes from my good friend Imitator, and she asked, what made you start playing Minecraft? So I'm gonna be honest with you, I actually had no intent on ever even starting the game. It was, I believe, my 13th birthday. My cousin and I were going to hang out. We were going to a concert, and we were on hotel Wi-Fi, and we ended up downloading Minecraft to our phones for whatever reason, and we just kind of stuck with it ever since, or I stuck with it ever since. He, I don't think, plays anymore, but I have stuck with it ever since. I was absolutely floored with it and just loved it, and I've been just addicted pretty much for the last 10 years now. So the next question, it comes from another friend of mine, Baby Unicorn 184, and she asks what your favorite Minecraft mob and your least favorite Minecraft mob is, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I really don't know. I never really thought about this too much. So I can tell you that my least favorite mob is probably the Phantom. I think they are, well, they're just super annoying, and quite frankly, I hate dealing with them. For my favorite one, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not really sure. I want to say probably the parrots, because of the cute little dance that they do whenever you put them next to a jukebox and you put a music disc in, and I just think they are super cool to have around. I don't know, I never really give it any thought until now. So the next question comes from my friend Isabox, who you guys have seen on this channel before, and she's got a whole heap of questions here, starting with any hidden or weird talents, favorite video game besides Minecraft, favorite food, and what's a subject that you know a lot about that never comes up in conversation. So the last one, I really don't have any specific subjects that I know a lot about that never comes up in conversation. I know a lot about guitars and music and stuff like that, but that comes up quite frequently, but that's really about it. Favorite food? I mean, I'm pretty stereotypical Southern man, and I love just a good old grilled cheeseburger. I could live off of them. Favorite video game besides Minecraft? Well, that one is a difficult one to answer because I go through phases with a bunch of different video games like I do with music, and well, really, I don't have a favorite game. I really love the Fallout franchise, and I really love The Last of Us 1 and 2, and then the Red Dead Redemption games. The latter two being for primarily their stories, and then the Fallout games, I just, for whatever reason, have fallen absolutely in love with them and have ever since Fallout 3. Any hidden or weird talents? I don't have any hidden or weird talents, but I am a musician, and that is a pretty common talent, I guess. I play a lot of guitar, and I do know how to play the drums, bass, piano, and stuff like that, but don't really have anything that's hidden or weird. The next question comes from Empress Littlebit, and she asks, if I were to break into your house and steal Chachi, what would you give me for ransom? So for those of you who don't know, Chachi is my dog. He is a Chihuahua, and he has been in my life ever since I was like 11. So he is a very big part of my life and who I am. So I would give literally anything for my dog. I would probably sell a kidney for my dog. Okay. I really don't know what else to say about that one. But she also says, real question, if you didn't do Minecraft as a YouTube channel, what kind of content would you want to produce? And that one is pretty simple. It would probably be anything relating to music. I did think about doing a guitar related channel at some point, or something along those lines, but I just kind of feel like I would be better off doing the Minecraft thing. Not really sure why, but Minecraft is just something that has stuck out with me in terms of content. The whole music thing, I really went through my phase with watching a bunch of guitar channels and music channels and stuff like that. But I just feel like my ability with content creation and everything else is best put forth with video games and stuff like that. And Minecraft just happens to be the one that I have fallen the most in love with, and the one that I just feel like I need to stick with. The next question comes from Melissa, who again you guys have seen on this channel before, and she asks, who is your favorite YouTuber besides me? Well, besides Melissa, my favorite YouTuber probably is Impulse SV. He's pretty much the reason that I started this channel. Well, I mean, I have other reasons for starting the channel, but he is probably the direct inspiration as to why I started the channel. I had been watching Hermitcraft ever since 2018, and his videos have always stood out to me the most, as his personality and everything else. And then he and Skiz did the What's Stopping You podcast on their podcast, the Imp and Skiz podcast. How many times can I say that word in one sentence? But they did that, and they basically just asked, what is stopping you from doing what you want to do? And that resonated with me. I sat there and I thought about it, and I was like, well, I've been watching this for a while now, and I know I can do this. Why am I not doing it? And that's exactly what kicked this whole thing off. And I must say that I'm very, very happy that I actually listened to that podcast, and that it inspired me to do this, because otherwise I probably would be trying to pursue something else that's not making me as happy as what this is doing. Currently, I'm not even making money off of this channel, and I know for a fact that I'm not going to be stopping this anytime soon, just because of how much I love it. I can do this for the rest of my life and not make a cent off of it, and I know that I am happy with what I'm doing. And that all got inspired from Impulse SV. And she also asks, what would you have for your last meal? And it took me a while to figure this one out, but the one thing that kept coming back to my mind was my grandmother's lasagna, her homemade lasagna growing up. It was always the best one I had ever had. And then for dessert, I would probably have her homemade lemon pound cake to go with it. I know that's probably a weird combination for some of you out there, but that is that has to be like two of my favorite things ever. So yeah, that's probably it for that. And the final question comes from my friend Captain Wishbone, who says, tell us about your music background. So there's not really much of a background. I have been playing music for going on 8 years now, I think. If I'm doing the math right, it's about that long. And I mean, I absolutely love it. I love what I do. Every time I pick up a guitar, I feel inspired. And there's not really anything else other than Minecraft that makes me feel that way. I started playing guitar when I was about 14 or 15. I'm not entirely sure of that timeline, and I basically stuck with it ever since, though I was a drummer a little bit before then as well, which was directly inspired by Phil Collins with his song In the Air Tonight. I used to play the Grand Theft Auto series like religiously. I absolutely loved those games for whatever reason. It wasn't about the violence or the gameplay mechanics or anything like that. I was that kid that just loved to get in a car and drive around on there, but the radio would always be playing, and in Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories, that song specifically was in there, and there was an entire mission that was revolved around that. Phil Collins himself was in the game, and that the mission where I very first heard it, very first time I heard it, it stuck with me. And the drum solo towards the end, I don't know, it made something click in my head, and I had to learn it, and I had to basically just learn music after that. And I mean, even to this day, I still listen to all of Phil Collins's discography. I love his music. I love that 80s pop stuff just as much as I love this hard rock stuff that I listen to and everything else. Um, but yeah, so primarily speaking, I play guitar. I've got a rack of guitars over here beside me, and if Editor Lane has done his job, and there's a picture of them up there now. And then we've also got a drum set, and I've got bass, and I used to play a little bit of piano here and there, and stuff like that. And it's just something that has stuck with me through a majority of my life, and it has gotten me out of some very depressing times of my life. And without music, I wouldn't be who I am today. And I think that'll do it for questions, so let's go ahead and get back to the video. Alright, so I'm finished with the statue now, and I quite like it. I was going to change out the path for a stone path, but I feel like a stone path with a stone statue is going to be just a bit too much, well, stone. So I think leaving it like this just kind of left a little bit more color and variety to the area, which, to be honest with you, it kind of needed. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that as it is. And honestly, the statue is not too big, it's not too little, it's pretty much just what I wanted in this area. And well, I think that just about does it, to be completely honest with you. There is one other thing that I want to show you real quick, and that is this right here. So I took the time to kind of type out some thoughts on this world, and I put it in a book and made a little story out of it. So well, this is the Solely Survival story. On March 13th, 2023, this world was created, and it was created as to be another creative outlet for myself. A way for me to express myself and start my journey as a content creator. I had never edited a video before that day, let alone recorded a video. There were a lot of variables, a lot of what ifs, a lot of doubting myself. Not just in content creation, but in my building capabilities and my ability to entertain and everything to do with just any of this in general. That didn't stop me though. I knew this was a journey I wanted to be on, and I knew that I could do this if I set my mind to it. So on May 8th of 2023, I uploaded my first video, Solely Survival Season 1, Episode 1. The comments started slowly coming in, and the subscribers started making their way to the channel. And the support and comments from you guys have been overwhelming and has kept me going. The series started out for me, and it started out as a way to start my journey. And now, November 1st, 2023, the day that this video is being released, the end of Season 1, has shown me that this wasn't just for me. This series kind of became about you guys, and so with that being said, just thank you for being a part of this journey and making it worthwhile. Thank you for your support, your kindness, and everything else. Well, there's not really anything else to say, is there? Until next time, my name is Lane, and I will see you soon for Season 2 of Solely Survival.